Mathematics translates words to diagrams and symbols. So here we have some English words depicting a situation. Let's read it. Oh, and by the way, please take out your pencil, your pen, and your paper so that you can start writing. And anytime, just remember, anytime you are looking at a math video, you must be putting pen or pencil to paper. Right, so one group of 8 pens is to be divided equally amongst 4 children. So that is words alone, okay? Now, once you are into quantification, then you automatically will end up in mathematics, and you have to do some translation of words to symbols to enhance communication, written communication. So one is an important word in mathematics. It has its translation. It has its translation. Pens is not really an important word in mathematics. It's not really quantitative. So basically, it does not really have a formal translation, symbolic translation in maths, but we can use a diagram for it. Once a word does not have a, a formal symbolic translation in maths, you can use any symbol, you can even use a diagram for it. So you may use a diagram for pens. Divided equally, all right, have their symbolic translation because they are important words in mathematics. 4 is an important word in mathematics. Okay, so it has its symbolic translation. Children is not an important word in mathematics. It's not really a quantitative word. Always saying more than 1 children, plural, but we all know who are children. So therefore now we can use diagrams for it. Okay. Here we have another, so therefore now, since we have 4 children, we can use diagrams for the 4 children. All right. We can use diagrams for the 4 children. So we have 1 child can be represented by a rectangular box. 2, 3, 4 children can be represented by a box. And the word 1, as we said, has its symbolic translation. The word 8, even the word off, has its symbolic translation. Pens, not really, but we may have to use a diagram for it, just like how we use a rectangle for children, okay? Because it's involved in this situation. Divided equally. Both words have their symbolic transition. Divide has its symbol, equal has its symbol, and 4 has its symbol. All right. So these are the 4 children, and we have to divide 8 pins equally amongst them. So this can be translated symbolically. This sentence here, all right, can be translated symbolically. So one group of 8, all right, and a group, we put a group in a bracket. One group of 8 is to be divided. Here's a symbolic translation of divide. That's one of them, and there's another symbol for divide. You can use this symbol for divide, or you can use a horizontal line. Okay? By 4 children. Okay? One group of 8 is to be divided equally amongst 4 children. So this can be a symbolic translation for this. And by the way, the word off, we still have the word off there, and it's the symbol for off. In fraction, specifically in fraction, also other areas in math, but most times in fractions, more frequently in fractions, is the times. So you can replace the word off with a times in fractions. So one group of 8 pens is to be divided equally amongst 4 children. All right, so you can read this symbols by saying that one group of 8 pence is to be divided equally amongst 4. So this is basically saying what is 1/4 of 8? That's basically what this is saying. What is 1/4 of 8? This because now also in English we normally phrase this same meaning different ways. So this can be rewritten and it means the same thing. The times and the 8 can be shifted here. That and that is the same thing. Okay, we can even put them side by side. Okay, one group of 8 divided amongst 4 is the same as saying 1/4 of 8. All right, now what is 1/4 of 8? Here we have the 4 children and we have to divide 8 pence equally amongst them. So one group of 8 pence. So we have one group. Let's establish one group of 8 pence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's one group of 8 pence. Okay, here it is. But then the one child, you cannot give one child all of the 8 pence. So let us try to distribute it equally amongst them. So one way of doing that is by each giving a child 1, give another child 1 to ensure that each child gets the same amount of pence. So at that first sharing, each child has 4 pence, but then there are 4 more pence left. So let's continue. Give that child another 1, give this child another 1, give this child another 1, and give this child another 1. So as you can see, 2, 4, 6, 8, each child received 2 pence. So 1/4 times 8 is equal to 2. Okay, and this is the origin of fractions. Fractions has its origin when you would like to distribute one whole object like a cake or 8 pens or 12 books, trying to divide it equally amongst a group of children or a group of persons. Okay, trying to divide a whole or a complete set, divided equally amongst, trying to distribute it equally amongst individuals. All right, this is where fractions has its origin. Now, please write this down, write it again, replay the video, because by putting pen to paper, that's how you assimilate knowledge of mathematics.